Hey team, Coach Christina Rivoli here. It's been a minute since I made the last video, which it's Thanksgiving week. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I wanted to share with you just a few of my tips to have a guilt-free Thanksgiving. Yes, it's possible, guys. It's possible to have a guilt-free Thanksgiving at the same time as enjoying yourself. Trust me. I spent a lot of years feeling guilt whenever I would have huge splurge meals, such as holidays, birthday parties, going out for friends' birthday parties, going out to eat at restaurants, because I kind of didn't have control, or at least I didn't think I had control of the food that was being served, right? I don't know if you ever felt like that too, but I have learned this technique and these tips on how to have a guilt-free treat meal, I guess you want to say. If you want to call it treat meal, if you want to call it splurge meal, if you want to call it celebration, whatever it is, because usually celebrations in our culture, U.S. culture, celebrations revolve a lot around high-calorie foods, sweets, sugars, and such. But here's my tip for the holidays. So this is what I do, and if you choose to take on these practices, or maybe you already have some tips and techniques that you already follow, great. I would love, or we would love for you to share some of them. You can comment down below underneath this post, so that way all of our team members can benefit from them. But this is what works for me. And you know, growing baby here, I have like the widest belly right now. I'm not necessarily counting calories. I am keeping track of vegetable intake and of course superfoods every day, my Shakeology every day. I'm just making good, wise choices. Weight loss obviously is not my goal right now. It may be your goal. My goal right now is health, whole health for this growing baby, for nourishing myself, for keeping my energy up, because I've had really tough days with low energy, and just, you know, whole health. That's my focus. You focus on what your focus is. We're all different. We all have different goals. Always keep that in mind, that never compare yourself to somebody else in the challenge group, or one of the coaches, or somebody that's getting better results than you. Like, no, don't do the comparison game. Rule number one is stop the comparison game. We're all around our own journeys. We each have our own different metabolisms. We each have our own different food sensitivities. We each have our own different focuses. So that is number one, is stop comparing. My biggest tip is fuel yourself before you go to an event with good nutrition. For me, my Shakeology is my always go-to. Like, hands down, have a Shakeology before I leave the house. That is my Hail Mary top rule of when I go to a birthday party, a celebration, a holiday gathering. I have to have my Shakeology in the car or right before I leave the house. Hands down. Okay, so if you're not doing that, then maybe that should be something that you take up. You make sure you have that dense nutrition. Guys, it's 5 salads in a cup that tastes like a dessert. You know this. You know this. You know the benefits of Shakeology. You know how it makes you feel. You know how filling it gives you. You know how that boosts your energy and it boosts your metabolism. It's super, super dense nutrition at your fingertips. And if you're not utilizing it, if you're not making that a golden rule for yourself, then that's something that you got to take on. I know there was a point in my journey where I'd be like, oh, I'll have my Shakeology later when I got home. After I splurged on this meal with sugar and salt and fats and everything else, like, I came home, I was stuffed, I felt like a roly-poly, I was lethargic, I was tired, I was bloated. I didn't want to have Shakeology. So I took on that rule. My Shakeology needs to happen before any kind of event. bottom, hands down, okay? And then just be kind to yourself. You know, stop with the guilt. One meal is not gonna make you gain 10 pounds in one sitting. You may get some after bloat, you know, it'll take a couple of days for it to go back down. But that's just really a lot of water retention that if you've been on a, you know, doing your fitness daily or at least a few times a week, you know, you've been watching what you've been eating, you've been increasing your veggies, you increase your water, that bloat is just naturally gonna come off once you get back into your routine. That goes on to my next tip, is the next day, you make sure you get back to a routine. Do not let that splurge linger on. Don't bring leftovers home. Don't bring leftovers home from birthday parties, from celebrations, from holidays. You have your clean eating foods in your refrigerator and pantry. Don't sabotage yourself by bringing a slice of extra cake home. Like, I know it's tempting, I know it is, but try your hardest to just pass it on to other people. Or, hubby, take this to work because I don't want it in the house. That's what I do. If I'm like, if my grandma like, Christina, take this, it's like, we have all these pies, we have all this cake, take it. I'm like, okay, I'll take it, but then I immediately look at Richard, I'm like, you're taking this to work. Because if it's in my house, it's gonna go into my mouth and I don't want that to happen. Those are like my golden rules. Like, really simple. I keep it really simple for myself. I don't allow myself, if I get into this mindset of, damn it, I binged, damn it, I shouldn't have ate that extra slice of pie at the Thanksgiving dinner, damn it, I had 2 pieces of cake when I was only supposed to allow myself to have 1. Don't beat yourself up. You know, life happens, you make poor choices sometimes. Don't expect perfection 100% of the time because that's unrealistic. You just be kind to yourself and be like, okay, it is what it is. I did what I did. Today's a new day, or tomorrow's will be a new day. And that's just it, you know. I'm not gonna allow myself to feel guilty because guilt will just linger on for you to make other bad choices, and that's what you don't want. You don't want that to linger on to other bad choices, and instead of having it one treat meal, you had it 3 days of splurging and not giving a rat's ass about anything that you put into your mouth. And then by Monday, you're like 5 pounds heavier, feeling like disgusting, feeling that extra weight and tiredness and fatigue. You just don't want that. So think ahead, be smart, follow simple rules to yourself. Don't allow yourself to feel guilty if you mess up, who cares? Just come back home the next day, be like, I have a plan. This is what I'm gonna eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and my snacks. I have healthy food in my refrigerator. I have my Shakeology to fall back on as my first meal, post-treat meal, because that's gonna make me feel better. Except that your first workout after a splurge meal is probably going to be one of your worst. I know that that happens to me because of the extra salt, bloatness, sugar. It's just weighing you down. It's weighing your energy down. So just accept what it is, get it done. You're going to move forward. You're going to be okay. And the following day, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to drink more water. You're going to, you know, eat healthier, go back to routine. And